Hey everybody, welcome to Isaac's Knives and Knowledge channel. We heavily focus on the knives portion on this channel because I just really like knives. But knowledge is also a very important aspect of this channel and my life. I love learning things about history and outdoors type stuff, including things like survival skills and self-reliance. So I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite magazines to just pick up at the store. I mean, you can get a subscription too if you wanted to say bi-monthly magazine, meaning every other month. So you get 6 issues of this a year out on the newsstands. It's been out for a few years. This is issue number 22 of Backwoods Survival Guide, and I did a short video on this, like a 1-minute chit chat about this magazine. The editor of this magazine is a gentleman by the name of Jim Cobb, who's written several books on like prepping, and he's a very practical person when it comes to this prepping business. He's not all of this doom and gloom type of crap, I'm going to call him, that nuclear strike is coming, you got to have your basement bunker and all that. It's super practical. His writing is very down to earth. He's written several books. Forget if I said that before. You can find them on Amazon. Just Jim Cobb, Cobb, and I have a couple of his books. One of them called The Urban Prepper, which I'm going to do a review on as well. I bought that sometime last year. I think it just came out last year too, early 22. But he's very knowledgeable in the field of prepping and overall kind of long-term survival. But this is a great magazine here. He also publishes another one that I pick up every once in a while, and shoot, it's slipping my mind right now. It has more to do with like urban survival and prepping. This is more, this magazine's divided into different sections. We got outdoors, homesteading, DIY projects, gears and equipment. So homesteading is definitely unique to Backwoods Survival Guide. And we got a tobacco ad on the back cover here. Cougar Long Cut. Never heard of it. So the other one, I'm gonna put it in the description, when I'm done. Get the real name out there. But you've probably seen it on newsstands. You can get these at your local grocery store, Walmart, Tractor Supply, you name it. So they have those different sections. The first one, outdoors. Each issue it's like a mini book. So don't think of it as a magazine that's full of advertisements for bull crap that you're never gonna buy. This has like no advertisements in it. Maybe a couple, and they're all related to topics that are published in the magazine. There's no like cologne ads with a sample you tear off the paper and it smells good underneath, like you get in like Men's Health or something. The first article was like a guy, it goes, going on an outdoor trip with a canoe. Recommends bringing a partner. Next, fuel for the long haul. Different types of food you can bring on an outdoors trip. And here's make your own trail mix instead of buying a bag at the store. Sometimes it's just easier to buy a bag at the store. Next page, we do have an advertisement here for this website, and this book here, Survival Medicine. That's what it's called, the Survival Medicine Handbook, written by Joseph Alton and Amy Alton. It's a well-respected book. I even have a copy in my library. And the next article in the magazine reptilian risk. It's about you know, how to handle snake bites, and it's actually written by Joe Alton, MD. So, you know, one of the authors in this magazine, you know, had an advertisement for his products there. And we're not going to go. Maybe I'll just show you each article, and we're not going to sit here and read them all. It'll take all day. Orienteering, using that map and compass here. Find your way. Personally, I stick the trails most of the time when I go hiking and whatnot, because I don't practice. This is chapter 2, homesteading. There was a really great article. Yeah, here, it's the first one here. Planting a wilderness garden. I really enjoyed this. And I'm not one who have a homestead, you know, and acres of property. I live in a townhouse. I have like a 20 by 10 foot sized yard. There's nothing going on back there. But this, you know, if you have some woods near your house, maybe you can go plant a garden out there. And, you know, what would be nice, you know, you see videos of me doing knife tests at some woods in the back of my neighborhood, you know, maybe I could sneak a couple of apple trees back there and plant them. You know, it's pretty neat. This always interesting sidebars in articles here. This one, what will you grow? Persimmons are here, service berries, hazelnuts, chestnuts, and pawpaw. So in the woods in my neighborhood, this pawpaw fruit grows pretty abundantly. The trees there just grow like weeds, man. There's all kinds of that. So if you're in eastern United States, maybe you have some pawpaw near you. It's kind of a mid-Atlantic kind of thing. The further north you go, you won't really get as much pawpaw. Next, homemade pain relief goes over willow bark. It's kind of a natural aspirin. And this was probably my favorite article in this issue. The amazing apple. Just apples, man. And that's why, you know, I read this article after reading that Planting the Wilderness article one, because it's, you know, in the succession of the magazine here. That's why we got that apple tree idea. Because I don't have room in my yard to plant apple trees. And from reading this article, it's good to have at least 2 apple trees if you want to grow your own, as they help each other with pollination and help each other grow more apples and be healthy trees. It goes when to harvest, how to store apples, different ways to use apples. I love apple cider. As soon as I read this article, well, not like as soon as I got done reading it, next time I went to the grocery store, I bought some apples and some hard cider, because man, this just inspired me. I loved a baked apple too. So good. Sprinkle cinnamon on there. I love getting them at Cracker Barrel when I go there. Get that as one of the sides for your entree. What the cluck? Handling the ongoing poultry crisis. Yeah, I mean, price of eggs have been a big issue over the past year. They've really gone up. They were like $5 a dozen. They have gone down some, but still, they used to be like 99 cents a couple years ago. Next section, DIY projects. And as you can see, always great color photos in this magazine. The paper it feels like a newspaper. It's not like a glossy magazine paper, but great photos. Homegrown groceries. It's and this goes through building a greenhouse. It's by a guy named Tracy Trimble, who I don't know for sure if it's him, but he did work with or probably still does, work with Nature Reliance School, who I've not taken their classes in person, but I've done stuff online with them and listened to their podcasts. And Tracy Trimble, I'm going to assume it's the same guy. He is like their chief navigation instructor there. And I know from some podcasts they did some time back, I think he mentioned he was working on like a homestead or something. So I bet this is him. And if that's the greenhouse that they built, I mean, that is pretty impressive. Next, making the cut, keeping your blades sharp. Just an article about sharpening knives, some different tools you can use. It goes over different grinds, send sparks flying. Article about using ferrocerium rod and making fires in general. And it gives some recommendations on some ferro rods to buy. It mentions bayite and Fuer stock and Uberleben, Fire Fast, Light My Fire, Tag Z. I personally own bayite, Fairstock, and Uberleben rods. If my opinion and endorsement means anything to you. Pocket medical preps. Get that first aid kit. It goes over tourniquets. Keep some gloves in there. You don't want bloodborne diseases. It goes over this bleed stop powder, which I keep some of that on hand. You can get that at Walmart. Lou Ferrigno used to be on the package. I'm not sure if he still is or not. Ooh. Combating seasonal skin dryness. Use some lotion, bros. But there's other stuff in here. Using like natural ingredients, honey, butter, different oils. Even talks about homemade lotions and soaps. Chapter 4 is the equipment. This is sort of ads, I guess, but enjoyable ones. It goes over different gear. Let's see. Tooth exposure. This is about saws. So nice to have a good saw if you go out into the woods. They give several suggestions here in the magazine. All kinds, 2 pages worth. Here's an article about the Shamag. All the survival prepper dudes seem to like these shamags that I imagine it was probably brought back to the United States over the last 20 odd years of the global war on terror. They're popular in the Middle East. Personally, I don't own one. I don't know if I ever will. I don't see myself dressing like that, but they can go through a lot of different use. And I believe this is the last article in the magazine. It is a knife review. A knife called the Phoenix. And who is the maker? Dan Tope. Maybe a familiar name. He does some collaborations with Bark River. So pretty nice looking blade. And like I said, that was the last article. So hope you enjoyed this. This particular issue won't be out on the newsstand much longer. It says display until August 28th. So that means a new issue is probably getting ready to come out. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and those of you are just here for the knives of the knives and knowledge, well, here's a Winklet field knife. Just got done carrying that on a ruck for my 31 miles in the month of August in memory of Navy SEALs lost in extortion 1/7, August 6, 2011. And I have a bunch of knives sitting here. Here is a buck. This is the model 547 open season. It is a folding knife. It comes with a leather sheath. Also has a pocket clip flipper tab, but doesn't really flip. There's a real nice recurve S30B blade. Super comfortable handle. Very cool. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.